Hi, I'm Jay Patel. I'm a student at UC Berkeley taking Professor Lavian's IEOR 190G class on the smartphone patent war. Up until this point in the class, we've been dissecting various companies' positions and roles in the current smartphone battles, and recently we've undertaken a project taking one patent apiece and dissecting it and playing around with it. So last week, I filmed a video where I defended HTC's lawsuit. This week, I am dressed up as one of Apple's very well-paid lawyers, and I'm going to try to refute HTC's claim that the iPhone infringes their power management patent. So I'm going to get right into it. So, to infringe on a patent claim, one must infringe on every single element. I am focusing on the first and the only independent claim in HTC's patent about power management of a smartphone, which, as a refresher, is what is claimed is that there's a method for power management of a smartphone having a power system, a mobile phone system operated in standby, sleep, or connection or off mode, and a PDA system operated in normal, sleep, or off mode. The method comprising steps of resetting the smartphone, finding the network, operating certain features in a standby and to preserve battery life, to detect the battery life, to switch off connectivity depending on how much battery is used and whether or not the function is in place. So, as Apple's lawyer, I will try to poke as many holes into HTC's argument as possible. I'm going to start with their very definition of a smartphone. HTC defines a smartphone very limitedly. They define a smartphone as a combination of a mobile phone system, which enacts calls, and a PDA, a personal digital assistant. At the time of HTC's patent, I would argue that a PDA referred to more like an office desktop like application. So calendars, contacts, stuff like that. Um, kind of like a kind of like a office assistant per se, hence the name personal digital assistant. I would argue that the iPhone, with its many features, including a camera, a video player, um, and in addition to that, the music in the iPod, which I guess you can't see perfectly yet, but in addition to all those, the iPhone is not a smartphone by HTC's definition. It's limited definition. The iPhone is a smartphone based on a different definition encompassing personal entertainment device. So this addition of technology completely rearranges and takes away HTC's claim that Apple is a smartphone by their definition. So starting from the very beginning, poking holes into HTC's premise. The next thing I'm going to say is the the uh, the most important point I want to make is the uh, the last the last part of the claim that HTC makes relating to power management. HTC makes it seem like it's all automatic. The phone self-regulates, how turns off features by itself. Now, if you have an iPhone and you have various things running in the background, what this patent claims is that there are going to be certain features that will be turned off automatically based on thresholds. But however, in the iPhone, you can hopefully you can see this. If you double click the circular home button, you get a little display which shows what applications are running in the background. You can hold those and turn off various features of the phone, including messages, the phone application, different components, different applications to save battery life. So what I would argue is that it is detrimental to the market if HTC can claim that any additional innovations and improvements Apple puts on through similar or different methods is not fair for innovation and for the marketplace as a whole. So what I'm saying here is that Apple takes a different method entirely, and while it might on the surface look somewhat similar, it's not. And another point that proves that claim is that HTC's patent relies on this idea of there being second thresholds. So, as a refresher, once the battery hits a certain level, it shuts off certain features. Then, once it hits a second threshold, it shuts off other features. The iPhone, based on my knowledge, and unfortunately, I haven't really opened up the iPhone, but based on my knowledge and my position as an Apple representative right now, I would argue that that is not the case, and that the iPhone shuts the entire phone off at once. which I have experienced, unfortunately, on more than one occasion my phone has died. So, those are my major points, poking holes into HTC's patent infringement case. Again, to infringe on a patent, one must violate, as we learned in class, one must violate all tenets of a claim, all elements of a claim. As I've just shown, that is not the case. Even though this claim might have 7 or 8 different tenets, the fact that I can disprove one or more shows that Apple does not violate the HTC power management method patent with its iPhone. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great weekend.